Hey guys, welcome to our live stream for our writing sprints. I am here with Autumn Ashleigh, who I'm so excited to be hosting with again. It's always a lot of fun when we host together, so I'm very excited. Autumn, if you want to introduce yourself.
Sure. So, hi everyone. I'm Autumn Ashleigh, another author tuber in our community. I post writing related content and I host live streams on my channel as well. But today I am gonna wake up first, and then I would like to work on. I think I'm on chapter 17 of my project Brina. So I think I'm gonna. I think I'm on that chapter, but we're gonna work on that today.
Ooh, nice. I am trying to finish my manuscript. I am like so dang close. I can like see the finish line.
Yes.
I'm so close. I probably have like less than 15 pages to write for sure.
Oh my gosh.
So, no. But then I also feel like I have been kind of procrastinating it on purpose because I don't know what I'm going to do with myself once I do finish it.
Yep.
So I've like purposely been putting it off because I don't know. I'm just not ready to say goodbye to all my characters. I'm kind of upset about it.
Right. It's like life after the draft. Like, what happens?
I know. Seriously.
Oh my gosh.
Bree popped in. Hi,
Hey.
fans. Probably won't be joining, but get lots of words and achieve those goals. Aw, thanks, Bree. Celeste is here. Hey, Celeste. Welcome to our sprints for the night. And she will be working on her YA contemporary novel. Fun. We all know I love contemporary, so.
Yes. Love it.
I know. I'm so excited. I'm just hoping I can focus.
You got this.
I know.
Absolutely. I'm so excited for. Okay, so you said you had 15 pages left, and this is
like max.
Okay, and this is of the book 3 of Forever Frozen. Okay.
Yeah, the Forever series. I'm on the last one. So I'm kind of upset about it.
Oh, it's the last one?
I know. It's the third book in the trilogy. And I'm like about to finish it. So I'm like, I don't want to finish it, you know?
Oh my god. This is very emotional. Like,
it is.
Oh my gosh.
It feels like the end of an era.
Seriously. Oh my gosh. So no wonder you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do after this, because this has been like your series baby forever.
I know. This has literally been like my entire life for the past like 3 years. So
oh my gosh.
I don't know. And it's like I know like what projects I want to do afterwards.
Right.
But it's just the transition between like this series and creating new characters and new plots and trying out new genres and everything. So
for sure.
It's scary.
It is. Oh my gosh. So do you know if like the other projects that you kind of have, like, you know, on the back burner that you're thinking about, are they all like contemporary, or are they like a mix of like fiction, historical?
No, the next genre I kind of want to explore a little bit is like thriller, mystery.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I really just need a break from romance in general, because ever since starting to write Forever Burn, I have read and written nothing but romance.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of romance.
I know. I've read like 20 romance books since I've started writing it. Just romance. So I'm like, I need a break. And I'm going to go on a binge reading a bunch of thrillers after this. So
yes,
I'm excited for that, but
ooh,
so upset.
But I love like the complete like genre change. Like, you're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm just predicting you're gonna have a lot of fun, and reading a different genre, you're gonna like, it's just gonna be. I'm really excited because you're gonna get to explore like the new thing and maybe have like a teeny bit of like romance in there, but like you already know that. So
I know. I have to have like a little romantic subplot thrown in.
Absolutely.
No matter what genre I'm doing.
Just sprinkle it through.
Right? Just a little touch of flair, you know?
Yes. But you've already got it. You have that mastered. Like,
right.
I love this.
Let's see if I can do the others.
Right. Yeah, no, that's going to be really fun. And there's so many really awesome like thrillers out there. And so you'll have like a lot of like really good things to like pull from and like ideas. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I went to Goodwill. I went like on a Goodwill book haul a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I bought like 10 thrillers. So I am just going to binge all of them right after.
Do it. Yes.
I'm gonna.
So another author tuber, I don't know if you know her, Claire Phrase.
I don't think so.
She is actually having a thriller come out in September, I believe. Like you can go ahead and pre-order it, but it's called They Stay. The cover is beautiful. But I don't exactly know. Like I don't want to diss the book because I don't want to like say something wrong and it's not what it is. But I think it's like this girl's brother goes missing and then she has to like find him. Like, but there's like some like supernatural elements I think in it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, but don't quote me on that. But she has like, she has a thriller coming out, and I'm like super excited for it.
That sounds pretty good. I like haven't been able to spend a lot of time like exploring AuthorTube and like finding other indie authors on here. Everything has just been so hectic from like packing for school and trying to finish this book and keep up with all my social media. I'm like losing my mind already.
Right.
And yeah, but that's something that like I've been wanting to do is just like go make new AuthorTube friends. I feel like I have a lot of like Bookstagram and Authorgram friends and some on Book Talk, but I don't have like a lot on AuthorTube because I don't, you know?
Right. It's always so awkward too, like kind of when you first start. And like I'm such like an awkward, quiet person where like making friends, like I love friends, but it's like it's I can't like take the step off. And it's like so hard. So it's like I'll usually watch like 15 videos of somebody and then I'll be like, okay, all right, let's try to just, throw the hook out there.
Right? I know, I'm the same way. But
so I understand. And especially I feel like AuthorTube is so much different than like the other platforms because I always feel so intimidated by it too because it's like such a large platform. Not that the other ones aren't, like because Instagram's huge too.
Right.
But it's just it's different because it's like you're watching.
It's more personal.
Yes, like you're literally watching like vlogs and everyone's like lives and like it's very, like you said, personal. So 100%.
For sure. Let's see who popped in here. Joanne, welcome. Jules, I'm editing and rewriting. I'm so tired. Me too, girl. Me too. Currently working on rewriting chapter 19 of my NA Bakery Ravister Lovers contemporary novel. Ooh, that sounds interesting. I love the new adult genre. It's probably my favorite, honestly. Even more than like YA.
It's perfect for like.
It is. It's that perfect middle ground.
Yes. And I love that it's new adult because obviously it's new, but then it's just like I love it for like our generation because it's just like it's for us, and I love that.
Right, exactly. Went to a bookstore today and it's gorgeous. I want to live there, no joke. I love going to new bookstores.
Oh my gosh,
it's my favorite thing to do. Especially at school, there's a couple like around me that are just beautiful, and they're like those like cute little indie bookstores too. So they're like one of a kind, you know?
Oh my gosh, I love that.
I love it so much.
we had a giant library at my college, and I loved studying in it. It was like my favorite. Or like sometimes I would just like walk down the aisles just to like get inspiration, like to study, just seeing books. Right. And like people thought I was weird.
No, like being surrounded by books while I'm writing, it's just like super inspiring and motivating. And yeah, that's why I love going to Barnes and Noble so much and just like
Oh my
sitting that way.
Yes. And I haven't been to Barnes and Noble like since, everything has just gone crazy.
Right.
But I miss Barnes and Noble. Like I love just like strolling through there. You can get lost.
I know. But it's so dangerous because everything there is so expensive.
Girl, like
but once you find something that you like can't go home without, it's game over.
Right? Oh my
You're spending the money you don't have.
Yes. Like and then I'll like look at the book on Amazon and I'm like, whoa, if you used it's $11. Why is it 40?
I know. I'm the same way. That's why I'm like only allowing myself to buy books from like Goodwill or half price books or like whatever, because I already have so many books that I still have not read. So just buying books from Barnes and Noble in general for me is just stupid because I won't read them for 2 years plus.
Right. It's like every book I buy now. I'm like, oh, I'll read this.
I know.
I'll put it on my TBR. Yeah. 3 years later, oh man, I forgot I was supposed to read that book.
I know. I'm the same way. That's why I'm like, after finishing this one and publishing and whatever, I'm just going to take a nice break and just read as much as I want and do whatever I want. I'm pretty excited for it.
Absolutely. Heck yeah. Like a kid in a candy shop. You're like, yes!
Yes, it is a well-needed break.
I'm excited for you.
I know. When do you think you're going to have yours out?
No, probably like 2032 or something. No, so I'm almost done with the first draft. I know it's gonna need several drafts before I even want like another pair of eyes looking at it. And with it being a trilogy, like I want to traditionally publish it, but what I want in my head, like I want to like have all the books pretty much almost ready to go, and then they can all be released like months apart in the same year. So it's not like, oh, one book and then like 3 years later you get book 2, and another 3 years it's like book 3.
That is smart, because I have a whole freaking riot of people chasing me down with freaking pitchforks because I left the second book off with probably the worst cliffhanger imaginable, and now I have all these people. I get asked probably like every other day, like, when's it coming out? When's it coming out? When's it coming out? I'm like, I don't know.
Can I just write the book?
I know. I'm like trying to write it on all these deadlines now because people have been waiting for it since like April. And it's a lot of pressure. So definitely going down that route is going to be a lot less stressful for you, and you won't feel like you have no time,
Right. And that was what I was not thinking, that people are going to come after me with pitchforks, but I was thinking like
people with pitchforks.
I would just, deadlines kind of give me anxiety. And that's like what I was thinking, is I was like, oh, well, if I do one book, like if it takes me 3 years to publish my first book, like, and so I know it's going to take me 3 years to get everything done for like the second book, I might as well just hold it all, or try my best to write them all kind of around the same time, edit them all, and then we're good to go. And then one thing I'm kind of nervous about too is like forgetting things that happened in the first book that
I do that.
That need to tie in.
Yep.
So, like,
I'm at that point.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just agreeing with you. I already forget stuff that happened in the first and the second book. I'm like, oh, I forgot about this character completely. Like, are they still relevant? Like, do I need to add them back in? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I've forgotten stuff that happened. Like, yeah,
Cheering on the sidelines.
literally.
So that's like, I'm probably overthinking it. But I just think about like when I read a book and I know it's a series, after I finish the first book, I immediately go and I'm like, oh, well, where's the second one?
Right.
So I just think that like if I was a reader and they stumbled across my book and then they liked it and was like, oh, well, where's the second book? And then they realize that the date is like a year and a half from now, then it's just like, forget it, not worth it.
I know. I totally know what you mean. Hold on, I need to turn my heater off because I'm over.
Oh, sure. I'll just hang out here.
You know how it is anyway. But yeah, I kind of feel like that, but it's kind of tricky for me because Forever Burn at this point on Goodreads, it has like 115 or something ratings, and I think I just hit 90 reviews on there.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is a good milestone.
Yeah.
So when I first wrote and published Forever Burn, I wasn't planning on making it into a series.
Oh, okay.
So I was just going to have it as a standalone, but once people started like giving such good reviews and like wanting more, that's when I decided to expand it.
Okay.
But I think it's just still like, since I kind of left it as where it could have been a standalone, people don't realize like, oh, there's another one. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
obviously they all tie together, but it's not one of those books where you end it and the scene, like, you end it in a scene that you know isn't the end. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
Yep.
it ties directly into the next one.
Right. Like your book 2 to book 3.
Yes, exactly. And I think Frozen right now has like, I think 40 ratings and reviews on there, which isn't bad at all,
No,
but
not
it's
at all.
just such like a big jump between the two. So yeah, that kind of stinks, but hopefully over time it will.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and like you were an indie author and like I eventually want to be an indie author. And so like you're doing it all on your own. So like you don't have a marketing team, you don't have things like that. Like you're figuring it out as you go.
Yeah.
And like I feel like that's how we learn the best too, is like by learning, not even from like mistakes, because like they're just things that happen, but just like learning from our experiences and being like, okay, well next time, like for my next series, I'll do it like this and we'll try it this way.
Exactly. It's all kind of a giant learning experience, but
Oh yeah,
slowly figuring it out. So
you got this.
all right. Well, let's jump into our first book.
Let's do it.
All right. How long would you like?
Do you want to do maybe like 20 minutes?
Yep. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Right. Watch this. I'm going to share my screen.
I'm watching.
And I'm not going to mess it up. Hold on. Let me pull it up first so that I'm prepared. Okay. Share screen. Did I do it?
Yay!
Yes! You did it. Okay.
I'm so proud.
Thank you. I'm so proud too, honestly. That first time I hosted, oh my gosh.
Girl, no one remembers it. You're fine.
I think everyone remembers it.
See, everyone in the comments is happy too.
Good.
We have faith.
First sprint banner is up and starting in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the timer just went off. So our first sprint is officially over. How did everyone do?
Good. So it'd been since last week since I worked on my story, so I had to go back and I reread a couple of pages. Not gonna lie, I'm like super excited for this chapter. And it is chapter 17. It was, so I was right on that one. And I'm a little more than 39,000 words, so I think I'm gonna try to reach 40,000 tonight. For the stream, but for that sprint, I only got 115.
Well, I mean, not too bad. So you're out 39,000 for your whole word count, or?
Yeah. The total. So, yeah, my total manuscript so far is 39,253. So I'm gonna try to get to 40. I think I can do it.
I think you can do it.
My little fingers are gonna be flying.
Yeah, if we do another like 15-20 minute.
I think so, especially with this being like I'm really into this. Like I'm super excited that this was where I ended because it was kind of in the middle of something that was about to go down.
Yeah.
So I have a lot to write.
Yeah. For sure. I like love writing scenes like that.
Oh my gosh.
That have like high tensions and like adrenaline, and it's
yes,
just so much fun to write those scenes.
Yes. And it's the end, like it's getting near the end of Act 2, so you kind of need to have like that little bit of fire going on, and yeah, I'm super excited.
Sure.
How did you do?
Let's see what my word count was. I actually surprisingly was like kind of in the zone for that one. I got 543.
Heck yeah. Okay, ma'am.
There we go.
That is awesome.
I think it's just because it's like the final sprint, you know?
Yep.
Like, I know I'm almost there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're like at the fire too. Like you've got a lot to write, like a lot to think about and to write about. So
I know. And it's like, you know how when you're kind of planning your book out and your plot and whatever, you kind of get specific scenes in your head that like you want to incorporate, and like you want to eventually get to that scene, and that's kind of what you're working towards the entire time.
Yep.
One of those, where like I've been envisioning this scene for I don't even know how long, probably since I was still writing Frozen. So now that I'm like finally about to write that scene, I'm kind of nervous. Not gonna lie.
Yes, I love this. Oh, those are the best scenes. Like they just bring so much joy when you're writing them. Oh my gosh. And I'm so glad you're here now.
I know, me too.
That's awesome.
Let's see how everyone else did. Celeste got about a page and a half read through and self-edited.
Oh,
pretty good. Self-editing is very, very important. 74 words, but I was researching which major would be good for my other female MC. Ooh. Those details are also like super important,
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially when it comes to like school stuff like that, or like hobbies and whatever, because that kind of gives you like the backdrop of who your character is.
Exactly.
So you kind of have to choose that stuff very carefully. So I mean, take all your time.
Oh yeah.
Gotta love that researching rabbit for sure. Finish the edits in chapter 19. Good. So it sounds like everyone had a productive sprint for that one.
For sure. And I'm sorry.
Oh no, you go.
I was gonna say, going off of what Celeste had said, is about gotta love that researching rabbit hole. So okay, well, something happened to one of my characters, and like it's like one of those like battle type scenes where you're like, okay, well, what exactly happens like if they get stabbed here or like poked here.
You have to research that stuff.
Yes. And I was so afraid because I was like, I'm gonna go down this researching rabbit hole right now, and it's the scene is never gonna get written because I'm trying to pay attention to the detail. So I legit kind of skimmed over it. Like, it's really important, but I'm like, I know who did it. I know who it was, like, that got hurt. I was like, I know where. So I'll just be very broad right now. Because, like, we all want to go down that research rabbit hole, but then it's just like, I gotta have the self-discipline. Not yet.
I know, but it's also like sometimes when I'm writing stuff like that, especially like medical stuff, like specific stuff like that, I kind of like to go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, especially like medical. It's super fascinating.
Yes, yes. And it also just helps like reassure me that I'm being accurate.
Yes.
You know, like I'd rather take the extra time to kind of go down the rabbit hole and read everything that I need to and like really understand what it is that I'm supposed to be writing, because otherwise I feel like I'm inaccurate and that people are going to like catch those details, you know, and I don't want to be one of those, right?
There was a book I read, and it's a New York Times bestseller, but there was some like, I work in the medical field, but specifically what this author wrote in this book, I won't go into like the nitty gritty because I will literally
I think we talked.
Did we talk about this?
I think we did.
Okay. It's the 2 books.
The One of Us is Lying?
Yes.
Yes, we did talk about this.
Okay. Yes, girl, I still think about that. And if that first book was not given to me as a gift, they would not be on my shelf right now. But I feel so bad, like, that I didn't really care for the series or the duology because of those minor details. So
they're kind of major details, not gonna lie. Like,
oh my gosh.
Especially like if you're an indie author, I could kind of forgive it. Yes. But if you're like a big name author and you have editors and agents and publishers looking at it and they're not catching it either, it's like, do you care enough?
Right?
Don't you care enough to catch that? Like,
thank you. Like, so yeah, so research is key. And then and like with traditionally published authors where it's like, you know, they have like people that they can talk to. So it's like, don't reach out to just some random person in like the medical field. Legit go to the person that does that for a living and ask them, because it was so inaccurate.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, it was like a paragraph and it completely ruined how I feel about it. And it's like, so yes, research is key.
It is. I don't want to give any like big spoilers or anything, but in Frozen there is a big scene.
I feel like I kind of know. I think we've kind of talked about this. I think we have, but I don't. I'm sorry. I think so.
Oh, no, you're good. I'm trying to like think about how to like explain this without actually explaining it. But pretty much there is a big scuffle.
Event.
Yes, a big I'll just say a big fight scene that happens at one point, and I really had to research like the specific wounds that would happen if certain things happened. And I'm really trying to beat around the bush here, but like, you get what I'm saying.
Kind of like you're doing a fantastic job.
Like what you're talking about with like the stab wounds and whatever.
Right.
Like that stuff you have to really research and like know what you're talking about, especially if it's like a contemporary, because obviously contemporary has to be a lot more realistic than fantasy or sci-fi or whatever. So those genres, you kind of have a little more leeway because you can kind of make up your own rules at some points.
Agreed.
But contemporary, you have to stick to what's realistic, and that's why it's so hard sometimes to make sure everything's accurate.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I don't know if I could ever write contemporary just for like the fact of like making sure I get it right. Like, and it makes sense. Where I'm like, I'll just stick to fantasy where if something happens, oh, you know, it's their laws of nature or physics or whatever.
I'm like kind of the opposite. I'm like a little scared to dive into like fantasy and sci-fi and stuff because I'm like, I don't know how to world build, really.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's
that's
hard.
yeah, for sure. It takes up so much thought, and you have to have all the rules laid out of whatever world your characters are living in and whatnot. And it's just so much more brain power.
It is. Like, I can sit and write for like 2 hours and then I'm exhausted because, like, not only thinking about what the characters are doing, but like in the world, are the things that they're doing making sense? Or like if they're casting spells or doing leaping and it's like, you know, there's like the gravity is a little bit less so or more. Well, I don't know the difference, but you know what I mean. When they like leap into the air, is it like how it would be, or can they kind of float for a minute and then like come back down? So like I get it. And then to explain it too to the reader.
And that's honestly why I look at a Sarah J. Maas book. I'm like, how is this like 600 pages? I'm like, how do you even come up with that much stuff?
Right.
I don't know.
That is funny. But no, you're totally right. Like these huge books that are fantasy and like epic, it's like good googly moogly. Like how?
How? Like, do you stay up all night, just lay in bed and plan it out? Like, I don't get it.
Love it. That is funny.
Luann said, I'm thinking I'll choose literature as her major because she already loves reading. That's good. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. So,
yeah.
And like Lydia, who only chose the major because she didn't know where to start, Lydia soon found out she hated reading. That is also like kind of a good characteristic, though. You like really want to make sure all your characters are different, you know? So they have to be their own people.
Exactly.
All right. Well, are we ready to jump into our next sprint?
Let's do it.
All right. How long do we want?
Do you want to do another 20 minutes?
Sure.
Okay.
Right. Banner is up. Screen is shared. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so the timer just went off. How did we do for that one?
Let me see. Give me 1 second to remember where I left off.
Me too.
I know that was a really good sprint, though.
I got 413.
Really? Oh my gosh.
I'm zooming right now. I'm in the zone.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you almost got 1,000 words in like these 2 sprints.
I know. I don't know. It's just one of those parts where I'm just.
Yeah. I love it. I love the sound effect too.
Literally.
Love it. And I ended up writing 389. So.
Oh, that's
yes.
a good jump, though.
Yes. So, we're both doing really good. Actually, everybody's doing really good. But
yeah, we're all in the zone tonight.
Heck yeah.
It's a good productive time up in here.
It really is.
For real. I know some of us were kind of chatting in the chat during that sprint.
Yep.
Yeah, so Joanne just talking about, again, the research stuff and a bit nervous about how it will turn out. That's why I have critique partners and beta readers.
Yeah.
Those are also important for sure.
Yes.
I do as much research as I can, but still have to worry that I'm getting something wrong. You are not the only one. I feel like everyone always worries about getting stuff wrong, but
right.
I mean that's why having other people look at it is so important because you need those fresh eyes on it, you know?
Oh, absolutely. And that's the one thing too, like I'm a critique partner and like kind of a beta reader for like a few of my writing friends.
Yeah.
I don't have any quite yet because like I'm not there.
Right.
So sorry, I just saw that I misspelled a word and I totally just like I totally lost my train of thought. I meant to say beta readers are key, but I said
and key. I didn't even notice that. So
I didn't until it was up here, and then I totally just lost my train of thought because I was like, that's awkward.
Talking about beta readers.
And we were talking about how they're key. And I don't have any quite yet since I don't have work for someone to read. Right. But I feel like when I finally get to that point, I'm gonna be so picky and like particular with who I want to read it, just for the simple fact of like I love I want to share my story with everybody. But like with critique partners, like I legit want someone to hack and slash my book and tell me what's wrong with it. Like I don't want someone to read it and be like, oh, it's perfect, publish it now, because like that's not what I want you to do. Like I legit want you to tell me, like, be honest. Like I don't want to say make me cry because like that's not fair. But to critique it, because like that's what I like want the feedback for. Like please like tell me if you don't like something, because it's not going to get better. Or like if I just think about like honest feedback too, and where I feel like sometimes it happens in like indie publishing where like the beta readers and the critique partners don't want to hurt the author's feelings, so they won't say anything when it's in like, you know, the editing and the revising phase, so it's never brought up. So like the author doesn't know, like, and you know, when we read it, it makes sense, but maybe there's something that doesn't quite make sense, but nobody spoke up and was like, this doesn't make any sense. And so I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. I was just thinking how that's why it's so important to kind of have people that you know very well and people that know you well, because they won't hold back, you know. If you just kind of hire some random beta readers, they're kind of, I'm not saying that like all they care about is that like you're paying them, but
Right.
they're not going to put in as much effort to give those important critiques because one, they don't want to hurt your feelings, like you were saying, and two, they don't. I'm not to say that they don't genuinely care about like you and the manuscript, but they aren't as emotionally invested in it as someone who knows you personally. You know what I
Right.
mean?
For sure. And then like two, I don't if I ever give it to like a family member to read, I'm gonna take their advice with a grain of salt
Right.
versus like if it's like a writing friend that gives me advice, I'm going to
Yeah.
be more like, oh yeah, okay, I will, look at making those changes
Yeah.
versus like, because like, okay, when my mom reads it, she's gonna think it's great no matter what. Like,
Right. Exactly.
like I mean, when I give it to her to read, it's
Mhm.
just for enjoyment because she's gonna enjoy anything that I write. Even though, not gonna
Right.
lie, my mom is pretty harsh sometimes with like advice because like
Yeah.
like with like kind of what her job is she has to like she's nothing in like the writing or publishing industry, but like what she does, she kind of has to revise other people's like reports and documents and things like that. So she has that kind of experience with like certain things like that, but like this is not for like legal purposes. Like this
Right.
is just the novel.
Right.
So
I have two editors. One of them
smart.
I have been I've known her since we were in like preschool. So like I grew up with her and she goes to school in New York for editing and publishing. She's like a huge book nerd for sure.
I
So
love this.
yeah, and she gives a lot of great feedback about everything and
Ooh.
more so her her critiques and stuff kind of revolve around the plot and the characters and all of that stuff, which is super important. Or like sometimes she'll comment and be like, I feel like this is like kind of out of character for like this person, like maybe you should say
Oh,
this or say that, or like stuff like that, which is very, very important. um and then my second one is one of my old AP English teachers.
I
So
love this.
yeah, so all of those little like grammar mistakes, she catches all of them. So
Yep.
she does all of that, and then she also does a lot of like the character development and like realistic stuff, making sure that I don't have any unrealistic qualities in there or things that are inaccurate, stuff like that. So
Right.
those two I trust with my whole life, obviously. um
Yep.
but yeah, like they really pick it apart, which is nice. And you can tell that they like genuinely care because I know both
Yeah.
of them on such a personal level, you know? So yeah, I lucked
Yes.
out with those two for sure.
That is awesome. And I love that too because there's nothing worse than like having an indie author publish something that maybe you could have gone through a few more drafts.
Mhm.
And traditional publishing, I'm assuming is a little bit different because they have other people to kind of
Right.
help work with it.
Yeah.
Versus like with you know, indie authors, I mean, we rely on like the critique partners and then the beta readers and the alpha readers for like the honest feedback. So
Right.
like, I mean, if you have all your beta readers saying, "Oh, it's great, perfect," and it's maybe could have gone through a few more drafts,
Mhm.
and then you publish it and it wasn't quite ready for publication,
Right.
you will definitely have people review it on Amazon,
Yeah.
letting loose.
Right. And even like little things like if you have way too many grammatical errors or like
Yes.
typos in there, obviously every single manuscript is going to have some typos. I mean,
Oh
even
yeah.
like even traditionally published books,
Oh
like you
yeah.
find typos in there all the time.
All the time.
All the time. And even when I go back and like pick up some of my books and just like read from a random page, like I still find typos, even though I've read through them 10 plus times. So
Right.
but having too many of those typos in there, it just kills the flow, you know?
It does.
And people will kind of give you some backlash for that, for sure.
Oh yeah. So that's why I'm like, sorry. Bottom line for me is when I finally get my beta readers and my critique partners, like I'll be like, let loose, like please be kind, but really let me know. Like you are not gonna hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
We want to make this book the best that it can be. Or
Yeah.
I do. We all do.
For
so
sure.
lay it on me. I can take it. I can take a beating.
Agreed. Research really is super important. I'm just like you. I always feel like something's off. Me too.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
Especially in contemporary, realistic qualities and accuracy are key. Very true. Jules had to leave, but thank you for coming. And 3 pages read through, I think.
Nice.
I've got to head over to my stream now, but thanks for the sprint, ladies. Well, thank you for popping in, Celeste. I hope you have a fun time at your sprints.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, do you want to do one more short sprint?
Let's do it.
All right. What would you like to do? 10? 10 minutes?
Perfect.
All right. Perfect. Let's do it. All right. 10 minutes on the clock. Ready, set, go. Okay, the timer just went off. So that
Yay!
was the last sprint for the night. Let's see how we all did.
That was a pretty good sprint, too.
I would agree. For 10 minutes, I feel like it was pretty productive.
Same. For that sprint, I actually got 213. And I am so close to 40,000 words. I have 39,855 words.
Oh, you're close.
So close.
And 219 is pretty good for a 10-minute sprint.
I was pretty shocked too. But I guess because like we're both at like those really good points.
Yeah.
We have a lot to write about.
For sure. I'm trying to get my word count, but here we go. 257.
Nice.
Thank you.
Heck
Thank
yeah.
you.
Wow.
Productive. It was a pretty productive night, not gonna lie. Probably one of the more productive nights I've had in a long time.
Seriously. I mean, considering we would sit here and we talked for about 20 minutes each time.
I know.
Like, yeah, this was really fun. We
Yeah.
got a whole lot done. And it was only like an hour and a half, which is insane.
I know.
Girl, we were not playing.
We are not messing around out here.
Love it.
No words for the sprint, but I did end up writing 615 words overall today.
Heck yeah.
That's a pretty good chunk, though.
For sure.
I don't know how much I wrote altogether today. I'm gonna take a look and see my overall count.
Do it. I mean, I think you definitely got over 1,000 for sure.
Oh yeah, because I wrote a bit earlier.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. All right. Oh, I wrote a pretty solid amount today. I'm not gonna lie, way more than I realized. Okay, so my count for the whole day is 2.6K.
Oh my gosh. Look at you.
I am zooming.
Heck yeah. That is awesome, man.
Thank you.
Shoot. I mean, I did not get anywhere close to that. But in this sprint or this stream, I ended up writing 717.
That's pretty good for 3 short sprints.
Yeah, but 2.6K in a day, wow. Like that's awesome. Like I struggle to try to do like 5K, but I always strive for 10K days, and I'm just like, well,
those are like impossible. I always kind of aim for 1K a day.
Yeah.
And that kind of keeps me flowing.
No,
Keeps you at like a good steady pace.
Yeah, for sure. And like especially on days where it's like you don't feel like as good, like well
in the mood. Yeah.
Right. At least like 1,000 words is like, you know what, just sit for an hour, try to write what you can.
Right.
You did your best.
That's amazing. Congrats. Thank you so much. I had the day off of work today, so I got to really focus on writing and packing for school and all of that stuff. So very happy about that. I also have tomorrow off, so I'm going to try to finish. But I'm nervous.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how I'm gonna feel after. I like completely honest, like I think I'm going to cry.
Absolutely. I mean, it's your series, baby. This is a very emotional time, girl.
No, I'm so sad.
Oh my gosh. That is awesome, though.
Thank you. Joanne has to go, but thanks for the writing sprint. It was so much fun. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, awesome. Well, this was a pretty productive sprint. We're gonna have to do another one.
Oh, for sure.
Eventually. Yeah. I also have been really wanting to do like I don't know how many people you can fit on here, but like a group
Oh yeah,
posting. I haven't done one of those yet.
they're so fun.
Not
I
too.
think if you have the free version, I think it's 6 people.
Well, that's a lot though.
I think it's you plus 5. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Well,
I think it's 10 if you have like the paid version.
yeah, probably. Well, we're gonna have to plan one of those out.
It'd be fun for sure.
For sure. Like next month, a big giant sprint night.
That would be fun.
I
Especially on like a
know.
Friday night, like
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. We're
it'd be
doing it.
great.
We're doing it. We
Let's
can
do
get
it.
like Bree and Sarah and whoever else. I don't know everyone else that streams all the time, but
Yep.
I know those two. So
We got 4.
we've got 4. Yeah, well, thank you so much for joining me tonight for some sprints. I had so much fun. And yeah, I love being productive with you.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Trinity. I enjoy this. This was really fun. And we will definitely do it again next month.
Yes, 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 for sure. Everyone who is still here, thank you guys so much for joining us. It seems like we all had a pretty productive night. So I hope you guys enjoyed coming along for this stream, and I will see all of you guys for our next one. Bye.